check started recording. Very good. Okay. So, hello everybody. I hope everyone is doing great. Welcome to session 6 of the Advanced English Language course, Top Notch Book 3. So, let's continue immediately. I just want you to have a look at our Padlet as usual. It has been, as I've always tell you, it has become like a beehive. خلية النحل كده. Have a look at it. Thanks a million for all our colleagues who have contributed and did the assignments. Have a look here. First, tell me if the screen is visible. Is it visible and I am audible? Everything is okay?
Yes.
Yes, everything is okay.
Okay, thank Allah. Hallelujah. All right, very good. So these are the contributions of our colleagues. This is Miss Iman, and this is Dr. Mervet. And I don't know who contributed that or did this assignment, but it was really great, 100% correct. Of course, awesome as usual. Actually, you are all amazing. Okay, have a look at this, how many contributions we have. I'll say this every time we meet together because you are really doing a great job. This is how we develop actually. Okay, so let's start immediately, not to waste anybody's time. I want you to have a look at this example. Who can read it, please? If you have pen, this one I'm referring to on the screen. Who can read it, please? Who can unmute and
Can I
speak
read it?
immediately? Of
Can I
course,
read
Miss
it?
Samah, go ahead. Yes, sure.
If you have, yes, if you have pain in your arm, you might need an X-ray.
Okay, so we call X-ray a symptom or a medical procedure. Do we call the X-ray a symptom or a medical procedure?
A medical procedure.
Excellent. Excellent. That's it. Okay. And what's the word here in this sentence that refers to possibility? There is a word here used in this example that refers to possibility. What word? Anybody try to
Why?
might. Excellent. What is it followed by? Excellent. What is it followed by? What kind of form of verb is it followed by?
Infinitive. Infinitive.
So the infinitive. There is another name for that. For the infinitive, what do we call that?
The base verb. Third head.
The base
Verb.
the base form. Yes, the base form of the verb. The base form of the verb. Yes. So when we use might plus the infinitive or the base form of any verb, I want to mean, of course, I choose. I mean. So this refers or indicates possibility. All right. So let me ask you first. If you have pain in your heart, what what might you need exactly? Try to remember the medical procedures we studied last session. If I have pain in my heart, what might I need? What kind of medical procedure might I need? So you would say, if you have pain in your heart, you might need what exactly? What kind of medical procedure here? Try to remember the medical procedures. Okay, before you answer this question, please write in the chat.
Cardio something? Cardio.
Yes.
I don't
Okay.
Cardio thing. Okay.
The ECG.
The electrocardio. Huh?
No, electrocardio.
Gram.
Electrocardiogram. Excellent. The electrocardiogram referred to by the acronym EKG, or sometimes they use it as ECG. Okay, electrocardiogram. Excellent. اللي هو رسم القلب. All right. Now try to remember the other examples of medical procedures that we studied last session. Please write them in the chat box. The kinds of medical procedures that we studied last session, the words that were under the pictures, the medical procedures, the X-ray, the EKG, which is the electrocardiograms. What else were under each picture? Try to remember. Try to brush up on your knowledge of last session vocabulary. Huh. I'll check the chat box. Then I'll show you the pictures. Don't worry to revise a bit. The chat. Try to remember the other. Excellent. Somebody says, let me see. Okay, just a second. Let me read them. It's just loading. All right, so Miss Samah says shot. Excellent, which is an injection. Oh, shot or injection. These are two words here. Dr. Mervat says blood test, injection. Excellent. Thanks a million for that. Our colleagues remember very well. All right.
Chat is off.
The chat is not enabled. Is off. I don't know why. Maybe it has to do with the version of. Okay, I know this problem. Maybe you have something, a certain issue with the version of the Teams itself. Okay, because wallahi I'm enabling the chat. I'm enabling it for everybody. So some people have the chat, others don't have. I think it has to do with the internet connection or the version of Teams you are using. So maybe the version of Teams itself needs to be updated. Okay, so later on, inshallah, try to update it. Okay, to have the chat enabled. So some people here wrote injection, the shot or injection, the blood test, and as you said, the electrocardiogram. Excellent. Thanks a million for that. Thanks a million for that. Just a second. All right, let me remind you about the medical procedures here. These are the medical procedures that we studied last session. The blood test, this one, if you can see the pictures, the X-ray, the EKG or the electrocardiograms referring to رسم القلب, the shots or the injection, the checkup or examination. Okay, we need to revise all these words regularly, not to forget them. Okay, now time for conversation. Have a look at this picture. We're having like a conversation between two people here, two speakers. You are familiar, of course, with this the practice of conversation, the role play that we all the time practice together. So we listen, then we speak. We practice the conversation model. We acquire the rhythm and intonation patterns of the conversation model. Okay, now I want you to have a look at this picture and tell me, what is it about? Try to predict, try to infer, conclude. What is it going to be about exactly? Or maybe you have a look at the text itself, just a general look at it, a brief look at it, a quick look at it. What is it about exactly? Please don't read the whole conversation. We're going to read it after a while. Just tell me.
He needs an appointment for
Let me check.
Someone is
for
calling
what?
to make
Okay.
a blood test.
Somebody is calling to make an appointment. Okay.
appointment. Yes.
Look at the, yeah, very good. Look at the clothes of this person. Is he a doctor?
I don't think
Do you
so.
think he's a doctor? Of course you don't know.
No, not
I
a
don't think so.
No.
Okay.
No,
No.
What else? What else may he be? What else may he be?
Maybe he's
clerk or the
a nurse
It's
Nurse.
assistant.
or secretary.
A nurse or a secretary or the assistant of the doctor or the clinic clerk. Very good, wonderful. Now you are, as usual, you are going to read and listen to someone making an appointment. So we're having here a conversation model where we are going to read and listen to someone making an appointment. So we are going to read and listen at the same time. Okay, then inshallah, I'm going to get you to listen again and repeat in the pauses. Then we practice the conversation model with a partner. Okay, in pairs, we are going to practice the conversation model together. So first thing to do is, are we going to write something?
no,
Let me ask you.
We're gonna
Ask you.
listen.
Are we going to write some? Are we going to read? Are we going to read something?
yes,
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Are we going to listen? Are we going to listen to?
yes, yes,
Are we? Okay, very good. So let's start immediately. Let me remind you about the kind of questions that I'm addressing you now. What kinds of questions am I addressing now or posing now? Are they CCQs or ICQs as every time I check that?
ICQ.
The regular question.
I
Excellent.
ICQ.
Okay, referring to what exactly?
Instruction.
Instruction?
checking
Checking?
Yes.
question.
Instruction, checking, questions.
Check
Instruction, checking, questions. So I'm checking your understanding of the instructions so that the task is clear. Okay, they are different from the CCQs, which are the concept checking questions when I'm teaching vocab or grammatical point, for example, and I'm asking you after I presented the vocab or the grammatical point, I ask you questions to make sure you understood the vocab or the grammar point. These are called the concept checking questions referred to as CCQs, all right? They are different from the ICQs. Here, I have just asked you ICQs, instruction checking questions. What are we going to do exactly? Are we going to read? Are we going to write something? The answer is yes, no. Okay, so let's start immediately. You're going to read and listen to someone making an appointment. Okay, just a second. Here is the conversation model.
Page 19.
Okay, just a second. Now, audible? Assure me, is it audible? Can you hear it?
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
it is.
May I make it louder a little bit, the volume? It
Okay.
needs to be louder. Okay, very good. Here we go.
Conversation model. Exercise A. Read and listen to someone making an appointment.
Hello, Dr. Starr's office. Can I help you?
Hello. I need to make an appointment for a blood test. I wonder if I might be able to come in early next week.
Let's see if I can fit you in. How about Tuesday?
Could I come in the morning?
Let me check. Would you be able to be here at 10 o'clock?
That would be perfect.
We'll see you then.
Thanks. I really appreciate it.
Okay, now you are going to listen to it again. Okay?
Can you make
Get
it louder,
the
please,
hang
Miss
of
Marwa?
it. Yes, sure. Yeah. I think it needs to be louder. Just a second. Yeah. Maybe from here I have lowered the volume. Yes, it's lowered.
Page 19. Conversation model.
Oh.
Exercise A. Read and listen to someone making an appointment.
Hello, Dr. Starr's office. Can I help you?
Hello. I need to make an appointment for a blood test. I wonder if I might be able to come in early next week.
Let's see if I can fit you in. How about Tuesday?
Could I come in the morning?
Let me check. Would you be able to be here at 10 o'clock?
That would be perfect.
We'll see you then.
Thanks. I really appreciate it.
Okay, before we listen again, I want to check your understanding of certain expressions that we have studied before. What's the meaning of this expression? I can fit you in. Fit you in. Fit somebody in. Let's see if I can fit you
Find an
in.
appointment.
Make an
What does
appointment.
it mean? Every time I
Find
ask
an
you this
appointment.
question, by the way.
Make
Make
an
an
appointment
appointment.
for him.
Oh, very good. Excellent. Make an appointment for you or find you an appointment. Okay, very good. Thanks a million for that. Okay, so what's the name of the office? What's the name of the office that she's calling to make an appointment or for a blood test?
Star's office.
What's the name of the
Star's
office? Sorry?
Dr.
Dr.
Starr.
Star's.
Excellent. Dr. Starr's office. Excellent. Why is she asking for an appointment in the first place? Why does she need the appointment?
To
What
make a
for?
blood test.
A blood test.
Make a blood test.
Excellent. 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 So the medical procedure here that she needs to undergo is the blood test. Okay, now you are going to listen again to the conversation. That you will find that there are certain pauses in the middle between sentences. You are going to listen and repeat in the pauses, but this time to acquire or imitate the pattern of rhythm and intonation. Okay, then we are going to practice the conversation together. Just a second. This one, yeah.
Page 19. Exercise B. Rhythm and intonation. Listen again and repeat. Then practice the conversation model with a partner.
Hello, Dr. Starr's office. Can I help you?
Hello. I need to make an appointment for a blood test. I wonder if I might be able to come in early next week.
Let's see if I can fit you in. How about Tuesday?
Could I come in the morning?
Let me check. Would you be able to be here at 10 o'clock?
That would be perfect.
We'll see you then.
Thanks. I really appreciate it.
Okay, now before we practice the conversation together in pairs, I want to comment on certain patterns of pronunciation here. How did the speaker A pronounce this part? Let me refer to it using the, yeah. How about Tuesday? How about Tuesday? Is it how about Tuesday or how Tuesday? Huh? Do you remember? How about Tuesday or how about Tuesday? Just say it.
How about Tuesday? How about
You can speak.
Tuesday? How about Tuesday? How
How about
about
Tuesday? Two
No,
two
there is
T's or
no
just
T.
one?
No, just one.
The
Just
first
one.
one
We
is
eliminate
not there. Okay, just one.
we made the T
Yeah,
out. Yes.
so we elide one
Yes.
and we just pronounce just one. And this can also refer to a certain pattern that we studied 2 sessions ago. What was it? How about
Elision.
the ah? It's elision. Yeah, of course it's elision, but it can refer. Excellent, Mr. Said. That's it. It
Yes.
can refer also to
Glottis.
the glottal stop.
T.
We pronounce the t like the ah from the glottis.
Ah.
The opening between the vocal cords is called the glottis, and we pronounce the ah. Instead of saying the ta, we say ah. How about Tuesday? How about Tuesday? Definitely. Mountain. It's a button instead of button. Okay, so that's really great. Okay, just a second. I have some sentence here that I want to comment on before a practice. Would you be able to be here at 10 o'clock? Would you be able to be here at 10 o'clock? Of course, last session we studied reduction. Okay, certain forms of to, for example, are weak. So how did we pronounce this sentence? Would you be able to be here at 10 o'clock? Do you remember? Before we practice.
Would you?
Hmm.
Would you be able?
Yeah. Would you? Okay, we are going to study it again today. Would you? Would you something? Yeah. Would you? She didn't say would you, or he didn't say would you. By the way, he just said would you? Would you be able? I'm speaking about the to be. To be. How did she or he pronounce it? How did he
Able
pronounce
to.
it?
Able to be. Able to be.
Able.
To be. To be.
Okay.
There is no
Really?
no
Yeah.
sound.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
I think.
Okay. So I'll give you two choices here, and you choose. Okay. Would you be able to be here at 10 o'clock, as you say, to be able
Yeah.
okay, would you be able to be here at 10 o'clock, or would you be able to be here at 10 o'clock? Would you be able to be here at 10 o'clock? Which sentence or pronunciation did he say? Okay, I'll get you to listen to it again. Okay, just a
Yes,
second.
please.
Yeah, sure.
Page 19. Conversation model.
Please repeat.
Exercise B. Rhythm and intonation.
I'll repeat as well.
Listen again and repeat.
Okay.
Then practice the conversation model with a partner.
Hello, Dr. Starr's office. Can I help you?
Hello, Dr. Starr's office. Can I help you?
Hello. I need to make an appointment for a blood test.
Hello, I need to make an appointment for a blood test.
I wonder if I might be able to come in early next week.
I wonder if I might be able to come in early next week.
Let's see if I can fit you in.
Let's see if I can fit you in.
How about Tuesday?
How about Tuesday?
Could I come in the morning?
Could I come in the morning?
Let me check. Would you be able to be here at 10 o'clock?
Let me check. Would you be able to come here at 10 o'clock? Would you be able to be here at 10 o'clock?
That would be perfect.
That would be perfect.
We'll see you.
Thanks. I really appreciate it.
Thanks. I really appreciate it. Now, how did the speaker A pronounce this part? Would you be able to be or حاجة تانية?
He used the schwa instead of to.
Okay, did you pronounce it t or ah? Would you be able to? Would you
Schwa.
be able?
Ah.
Yeah. Would you be able to be? Yeah, very good. Would you be able to be here? Would you be able to be here at 10 o'clock? As if we don't have the two, we just have ah. Okay, this is severe reduction here. Okay, so now for practice, I need pairs to practice the conversation model. So let me check raised hands. Raise your hand, please. Participants. I need everybody to share today. Practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect. So no raised hands. Nobody wants to share. Was ready. Miss Samah, the first raised hand. Excellent. Okay, and who else? And Miss Hanan. Excellent. So Miss Samah and Miss Hanan. Very good. Okay, we're going to choose other participants. Don't worry. So Miss Samah and Miss Hanan, go ahead. Speaker A, Miss Samah, because she's the first one to raise her hand. All right.
Okay, Miss Marwa.
Go ahead. All right.
Hello, Dr. Star's office. Can I help you?
Miss Hanan. Speaker B.
Yes, yes. Sorry, I
Miss
didn't open mic. Yes, I did. Sorry. Okay. Hello, I need to make an appointment for a blood test. I wonder if I might be able to come early next week.
Let's see if I can fit you in. How about Tuesday?
Could I come in the morning?
Let me check. Would you be able to be here at 10?
That would be perfect.
We'll see you then.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Very good. Thanks a million for that. So let's check other colleagues of ours. Okay. Yeah. So we're having here Dr. Mervat, of course, and who else is going to share? We need another colleague of ours. Dr. Mervat and who else? Raised hands. Only Dr. Mervat? Who else is going to share?
Okay.
Or rating? Okay, who else? Who is that? Miss Him, very good. So Dr. Mervat, speaker A, and Miss Him, speaker B, okay? Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes,
Hello,
you can start.
Dr. Star's office.
Unmute.
Yes. Okay. Hello, Dr. Star's office. Can I help you?
Hello, I need to make an appointment for a blood test. I wonder if I might be able to come in early next week.
Let me see. Let's see if I can fit you in. How about Tuesday?
Can I come in the morning?
Let me check. Would you be able to be here at 10?
That would be perfect.
We'll see you then.
Thanks, I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks a million for that.
Thank
you. Check. You're welcome, of course. Okay, let's check other hands. Please just remember to lower your hand after you participate, not to get me confused. Okay? For me not to get confused. So let me check. Who else want to share? Miss Maha and who else? Let me see. Miss Maha and Miss Ghaida Abdel Basit. Okay. So Miss Maha, speaker A, and Miss Ghaida, speaker B. Okay.
Okay.
Hey. Hello, Dr. Star's office. Can I help you?
Hello, I need to make an appointment for a blood test. I wonder if I might be able to come in early next week.
Let's see if I can fit you in. How about Tuesday? How about Tuesday?
Could I come in the morning?
Let me check. Would you be able to be here at 10?
That would be perfect.
Well, see you then.
Thanks, I really appreciate it.
Amazing. Thanks a million for that. Excellent. Okay, now, just a second. I have something for you. Okay, please mute yourselves, guys, please. Hi, mute yourselves.
Oh.
Okay. I'll mute everybody, don't worry. Okay, just lower your hands, not to get me confused, please. All right, now you can hear me, huh?
Yes.
Yes.
Very good. Now I'll put you a link in the chat box that I want you to go to the Menti. Actually, it's the Mentimeter. I want you to go to the link, to visit the link, and to write me some examples of types of treatments. So I want to ask you a question, which is, what are some kinds of treatments that you are familiar with? Let me hide this, not to show you the answer, of course. So we are going to discuss some types of treatments. Of course, I told you before that this unit is medical, is having a medical content. So we are going to tackle some kinds of treatments, different kinds of treatments. So I'll put you this link, actually, just a second to copy the link. All right. This one I have here. Copy the link and put it in the chat box for you to go. You'll find that I'll show you what will you find actually. Loading. Here is the chat. I'm enabling the chat. Wallahi, I'm sorry for that. Sorry for people who don't have that chat enabled. Paste the, yeah, okay. Now, did you get the link? You just click the link and go to the Mentimeter. You will find it like this. And type me some, I'll show you. You'll find it like this, types of treatments. So you will type, if you know, of course, whatever kind of treatment you know, just write them here and then click submit. If you see my screen, you click the link you have in the chat box and you write me the answer to this question. Types of treatments. What are some types of treatments that you are familiar with? Okay, whatever kind of treatment you are familiar. A third one here, if you know, and then click submit. Okay, let me check the presentation here, your answers. Okay. I'm waiting for your answers to keep coming in. Some people wrote here some answers. Types of treatments that you are familiar with. First, did you get the link? Did you get the link? Assure me everything is okay. Okay, wonderful. Some people wrote tablets, syrups. Very good. Syrups are the kind of treatment that we drink. Homeopathy. What is homeopathy? We're going to learn about it after a while, inshallah. Spiritual healing. Excellent. We're going to learn about it after a while, inshallah, too. Acupuncture. Wonderful. We're going to study it. Herbal treatment. Herbal treatment. Wonderful. Medical treatment. Okay. Good contributions. Okay. Keep answering the question. Keep thinking about it. Keep typing your answers. I'm waiting. These are your answers. Keep coming in, all right? Any more contributions? Just 3 answered? Just 3 people answered? No, that can't be. I need more contributions and participations, please. Whatever kind of treatment you think of, just write. What kinds of treatments do we use when we are having like a medical case, a medical problem? Injection, okay. All right. Any other suggestions? Whatever comes to your mind, type it in the box. Surgery, excellent. This is one thing, excellent. Shot, okay. Okay, I'm waiting for your contributions, of course. Write whatever comes to your mind when you hear the word types of treatments. Herbal treatment, curing, okay. Curing is the same word as treatment. There are types. What's the new word? Shot, medical treatment, surgery, injection, tablets, acupuncture, therapy. Okay. All right. Here we go. Just 6 colleagues of ours participated. We need more contributions and interaction. We came here to study together and learn from one another. Okay? Bandage. Okay, the bandage. Very good. All right. That's great. Thanks a million for that. Okay, so let's get going. Now, have a look at this reading passage. How many pictures do we have? We have 3 here, 3 pictures and 2 more. 2 more pictures here. We have a long reading passage to read and to study now. Okay, I'll try to make it a little bit smaller for you to read it as a whole or to see it as a whole. Smaller again, sorry for that. Oh my God. You'll not see anything here. No, don't worry, you will read it. I'll zoom in again. Okay, I'll make it bigger. Don't worry. I just want you to have a look at the titles, the internal titles of the passage. The internal titles of the passage are the types of treatments that I was asking you to give me examples of. Okay, so you have here 5 types of treatments. Please look at pictures and the titles and just tell me what are these types of treatment. What are they? Have a look and tell me. We have 5 ones. Just right before you rise. The kinds of treatments. What is number 1 here on the left? What is it? The
conventional medical. Conventional medicine.
Medicine.
Conventional.
Excellent. So we have conventional medicine, which means traditional medicine. Traditional medicine.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to learn about it. Don't worry. Okay. Yeah, like the surgery, for example. The traditional kind of medicine or the conventional medicine. Okay, what about picture number 2? What is it about? What kind of treatment is here? This word is a little bit, I know you are not familiar with it, but don't worry, we're going to tackle it. Homeo?
Homeopathy.
Huh? Homeopathy.
Homeopathy.
Yeah, homeopathy. Homeopathy. Yeah, homeopathy. Homeopathy. Of course, we're going to read and listen. Don't worry to check the pronunciation of every word. Okay, homeopathy. We're going to tackle now. What is it about? I'm not going to translate it right now. I'll translate it after we study the text. Okay, so what about the third one here? The third kind of treatment here. What is it?
It is not clear.
Herbal
I'll zoom
therapy.
in. Okay, I'll make it bigger. Now clear, I know. What is it?
Yeah.
What is it? How do we announce?
Herbal.
Herbal therapy.
Therapy.
Herbal
What
therapy.
kind of therapy is it?
Herbal.
Is it herbal or herbal? Is it herbal or herbal?
Herbal.
Herbal. Herbal therapy. Herbal therapy. It has to do with herbs, الأعشاب, okay? Yeah. Don't worry, we're going to study that. All right. What's the first kind here? The first kind, what is it? What's that thing? What that kind of treatment here?
Chinese needle,
Acu? Acu?
acupuncture.
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 Acupuncture. Yeah, it's the Chinese needles. Do you know the Chinese needles?
الإبر الصينية. العلاج بالإبر
Yeah,
الصينية.
very good. Okay, very good, very good. Okay, what about the last one? The last one. What
اليوغا.
kind of healing is that? Is that
Spiritual healing.
Spiritual
Spiritual.
just
علاج الروح.
Spiritual healing.
spiritual? Very good.
Spiritual.
The spiritual healing, with the stress on the first part of the word, spiritual healing, spiritual healing. Okay, now we are going to read every part of it to give me like a summary or just one or two ideas under each title to tell me what is it about, what's that kind of medicine in the first place, or what kind of healing is that, what kind of treatment is that. So we are going to start reading the first one only, okay, to understand it fully. So we are going to read conventional medicine only. Have a look at the picture and read that part only. Why are you going to read now? You are going to read the passage about conventional medicine to tell me one sentence or two sentences about what is conventional medicine in the first place. When I say conventional medicine, what do I refer to? What does that indicate? Okay, just one sentence or two sentences after you read the passage. So you have 1 minute to read that part only, entitled Conventional Medicine. Start now, please. You have 1 minute. I'll read two, by the way. Okay, now done. Finished, right?
Yes.
Okay, who is ready to tell me just one sentence or two? Some people raised their hands already, or this is from the last activity. Is it an old hand or a new hand?
New one.
Yeah. A
It's a
new
new
one, right? Really? Okay. Very good. Let me check. We need new hands, of course, new participations. Yeah, people. Okay, I guess Mr. Sober is going to share with us, right? Our colleague, Mr. Sober, right? Mr.
Yes,
Sober, are
can
you
you hear me
following?
now?
Yeah, of
Yes,
course.
yes,
Well,
okay.
like we can.
I think I think conventional medicine started in the 5th century, and it is what we call now surgery or like surgery, like something like that.
Yes, yes, very good. Yes, very good. Yes, that's it. It refers to the surgery, the traditional kind of treatment, the medications we have. Okay, very good. The medication or the surgery that is based on the medical or the scientific research. Okay, see what are the doctors doing here in this picture? They are doing some surgery, the operation to the patient. This is the traditional kind of medications or medicine or treatment. Okay, very good. Does anybody have to add something? Or that's all,
Yes.
let's move into homeopathy. Yeah, sure, go ahead.
So conventional medicine started in the 5th century in Greece, okay, in ancient Greece, and as the progress doctors have made in this field, people made it first choice when they feel they have a disease or some kind of disease.
Okay, very good. Thanks a million for that. Now we move on to the second picture referring to homeopathy. Homeopathy. I know you are not familiar with the word, okay? It refers to الطب البديل. So we're going to study what is that الطب البديل, okay? What is it about exactly? So you have 1 minute again to read the passage about homeopathy, and then you are going to tell me, oh, just a second, please mute yourselves. Hi, please mute yourselves. Having a lot of background noise. Okay. So now we are going to read this part entitled Allah's Great. Okay, we're having the azan, just a second. Allah's Great. Okay. So we're going to read this, just 1 minute to read homeopathy and tell you one sentence or two sentences about what is homeopathy in the first place. Start now, please. You have 1 minute. Okay. That's great. Okay, we're just waiting for the azan to finish. Okay, now I know you are done, of course. Who's ready to give us like a summary about the hint about what homeopathy is in the first place? Okay, so let me check. Raise hands. Miss Iman Hassanin, go ahead. We're all ears. Okay, the floor is yours. Go ahead. Miss Iman Hassanin, are you
السلام
following
عليكم.
us or this is an old hand?
Yeah.
Wa alaikum
السلام
salam.
عليكم. عليكم Miss Marwa.
Wa alaikum salam.
Uh,
Everything's okay.
yes. Homeopathy is an alternative way of medicine, chemical medicine, I think, and it's cheaper than the natural medicine that used by people, millions of people worldwide. So I think it's an alternative way of medicine.
Excellent, excellent. Yes, you said many words that are correct. You said it's cheap. Yes, it's cheap, of course, and it's chemical. Yes, it's chemical, but it's we need another word. Maybe some other colleagues of ours are going to tell us about. And yeah, it's alternative. Excellent, very good. Even the translation is a طب البديل. Very good. Okay, just the pronunciation. It's homeopathy, and we are not familiar with the pronunciation of this word. You will listen to the native speakers pronouncing it like homeopathy in the American accent. Okay, so excellent, Miss. Thanks a million for that. Who's going to add? Do you have anything to add, our dear colleagues? Let me check.
Yes,
Raise
okay,
this
Miss Marwa,
on mute and speak if you have
can I
anything
ask?
to. Mr. Sober again. Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah.
I think homeopathy is a low cost and natural way of treatment. I don't think it is chemical. I think it is a natural, not chemical.
Okay. Yeah. So you think it's natural because they write the word natural here, natural medicine.
Yes.
Okay. So the substances included or utilized in this part of remedy or this kind of remedy is natural resources. So they come from the nature.
Yes.
Okay. Have a look at these. Yeah. Actually, what I understand is that they are chemicals, okay, but they come from natural sources in nature, okay, but they are not herbs. They are not herbs, مش أعشاب, okay? It's homeopathy. It's natural, but it's chemical as well. They use natural substances or material, and they use it like in a diluted form. Look at this word, diluted, مخففة, very diluted form. So one part remedy to 1 trillion parts water يخففوها. Okay, but it's again in the form of chemicals, but it comes from nature. Okay, but not herbs, not even herbs. We really need to dive deeper into what exactly is homeopathy and how is it used and what does it consist of. Maybe you can watch some videos and surf the internet for more information about this kind of remedy. Okay, and next time inshallah you come and share with us what you found about it. Okay. Yes, we really need more information about what homeopathy is exactly. I tried to search the internet for more information, but I didn't understand anything. So, third part, the herbal therapy. I want you to read the explanation. You have 1 minute, and then your task is tell me one sentence or two sentences or even a phrase to clarify what exactly is herbal therapy. So, start. You have 1 minute. Read and tell me one sentence, two sentences, or just a phrase, okay, to clarify this kind of treatment. Start now. Now the minute is over. Who's going to tell us about it? Just a hint about it. um mhm. I guess, yeah, I guess Dr. Mervit's trying to say something. Okay, the floor is yours, doctor, go ahead.
Okay, I think herbal therapy is an old-fashioned way for treatment. People have used it from the early centuries. Okay, and scientists have discovered that some herbal that people use have a medical purposes, and the World Health Organization says that a lot of people use them as a regular way to keep themselves healthy.
Okay, very good. Okay, this is a good summary actually of the content here. Very good. So from the name itself, it's herbal. So it comes from herbs. Okay, الأعشاب. Okay, it's really clear here. The content is really clear. This kind of treatment is actually obvious. It's crystal clear. So look at this word, the word ailments here under the title. What does it read? Another word, a synonym for it, the ailments. So herbs are used to treat, to cure يعني أو heal many ailments. Ailments have, what does it mean?
Illness or
Diseases.
diseases.
It's very easy by the way.
Yes.
Excellent.
Minor,
You see
minor
this
illness,
sickness, kind of
not
sickness,
the serious one,
illness.
not serious. Yes, not
Okay,
serious one.
very good. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's not an emergency, not a serious kind of sickness or
Disease or
illness.
illness.
Okay, very good. Excellent. Thanks a million for that. So the same, we're going to do the same with this part, acupuncture. Acupuncture, الإبر الصينية, okay, the Chinese needles. So this part is really short. Don't worry. 1 minute would be enough. You read it and just tell me a phrase, a sentence, or two sentences to summarize the content, to really indicate what is acupuncture exactly. I really want you to read and tell me about three uses, three purposes for using acupuncture. We have three purposes. So please read and pick the three uses of puncture. Starting off. Now, I'm sure you are done, okay? 1 minute is enough. It's a short kind of text. So let me check raised hands. I need more participations, please. Mr. Fathi, okay. It's a great pleasure having you today with us. Thanks a million for being here. Go ahead.
You, Doctor. Thank you. It's my pleasure to be among you.
You're welcome.
Okay, acupuncture.
The
Something
pleasure is
about it.
all ours.
It's also although it's very old. Started 5,000 years ago, but it's also still used today, and a lot of people think that it's very effective. But relating to the thing that it can cure, they think that it can get rid of pain or also restore the health of the patients. But regarding to the last part of help people stop smoking, I am not sure about that because the article I read didn't say anything about this point particularly. Because it's, if it told anything about it, I would try. But I myself tried a kind of treatment, something similar to the acupuncture. We here have, as Muslims, here we use something which we call al-hijama. It's something that can have similar ways of treatment.
Yes.
Very
Okay.
helpful.
So you are not convinced. Yeah. Very good. Yeah, wonderful. So you don't believe that it's helpful in helping people with stopping smoking. It's mentioned here, by the way.
Yes,
We don't know, of course. They just, yeah.
yeah, yeah, because I said or I started my speech because I read it 2 months ago, article about acupuncture. It helps in a lot of diseases in general, but I don't remember if I read about leaving or quitting smoking or not, but it can help all the body to refresh itself.
Okay. Thanks
Chinese
a million
people
for
are
that. Okay. Mhm. Okay. Thanks a million for your contribution. Yeah. Okay. So maybe we need some more information about that or these kinds of treatments. How are they? How do they work? How are they used? For which purposes in particular? So we need to read more and maybe watch more videos on that. Okay. So the last part here, because we're going to listen to the whole passage. See how when I found that the task itself is too long and it would be like intensive or condensed, I try to divide it into simpler parts. Okay, so I just simplify the task itself to make it simpler. Okay, for you to be easier. All right, to tackle. I know that you are educators and you can read more longer articles, okay, than that. But I just want you to have a look at the way how we divide the complex task into more easier tasks or small tasks to be easy, not to get your listeners bored or to feel monotonous. Okay, so this is one thing to do when teaching the long articles or long passages. Now we have the last part, which is spiritual healing. Spiritual healing. So you have 1 minute, read it and summarize it. But the good thing we do is that when we summarize the information or give the pieces of information, don't use the same words that are used in the article. You just paraphrase it. You use other words, use your words, okay? Not to just use every word that is before your eyes. I didn't hide the text. Just read, understand, use other words that are similar to the words embedded in the article. Start now. Now, the minute is over. Let me check participants. Raised hands. All right. Miss Ghaida. Okay, head speaker here. Our British speaker. Go ahead. Our British accent lover. Go ahead. Are you following us? Miss Ghaida, can you hear us? Just unmute. You're not raising your hand? Okay, don't worry. Miss Samah, go ahead.
Yes,
Samah,
Miss
go ahead.
Marwa.
Unmute,
Yes,
please.
this kind of.
Okay.
Can you hear me? This kind of
Yeah.
healing is depending on mediation. I read a little about it before. It's the way to keep
Meditation.
silent
Yeah,
as much as
meditation.
you can. Yeah, it is keeping
No,
you
no, no. Just
silent
say
as
it
much as
again,
you can.
please. Just
Can you hear me now?
to keep silent. Yeah, yeah. Please
Yes,
say it
to
again.
keep
Okay.
silent as much as you can. That's the way to make your soul more stronger than your body. So with this way, your body can be healed by the power of your soul, as I think.
Oh my God, that's really wonderful. Can you just say that part again, please? It's really what I find it's really enjoyable. Oh my God. So you keep silence and you find when you keep silent, you find that your soul is stronger than your
It's
body
getting
or your
stronger
mind.
than the body or
Yeah,
the mind. So the power of your soul will heal the
yeah,
body,
yeah.
will be more stronger than the body. So it
Really.
will have the ability to cure any illness in the body. And this is coming from the power of
Okay,
imitation,
wonderful.
meditation, yeah, meditation.
Meditation. Yeah, yeah. And what
Yes,
is
meditation.
meditation? Just tell our colleagues about this word, the meditation. What does it mean in Arabic? Just say the word in Arabic.
تأمل تأمل.
تأمل. Yes, it's التأمل, التدبر.
Yeah.
Very good. Wonderful. Thanks a million for that. Now it's time
May
for checking the
also,
pronunciation of the whole
Marwa,
passage. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah,
Marwa,
yeah, go
Mr.
ahead, miss. Go
May,
ahead, miss.
okay. It is the main idea of the film of or a movie called Doctor Strange. Have you seen it?
Yes,
Doctor
miss,
Strange?
yes. Dr. Stranger.
Doctor Strange. Yes, this is the
Yeah,
same
Dr.
idea.
Strange, yes. Yes,
Yes.
yes. I watched it.
Really, I'm going to watch it. I have become
You will
curious
like it,
to
Miss
go and
Marwa.
watch it. Okay.
You will like it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
It's
I will
talking
like
about
it.
the
Oh my
power of
God.
the soul.
Okay, thank
I
you.
watched it. Maybe I'll put you some tax parts of it. وعليكم Miss Gheda, okay? Our British accent lover. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't join from the beginning. So I heard you calling me, and
Don't worry.
I was only seeing this part, acupuncture needle. So this is the only part I've just read.
Yeah.
So I was not sure if I could
Yes.
say something about it or not.
Okay. If you want to say, just go ahead. We're all ears, of course. The floor is yours. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I will participate in
Yeah.
another part. I'm sorry. You can go ahead.
Don't worry. Okay,
I'm
of
enjoying.
course. Of course. Thanks a million for that. Okay, very good. So now we are going to listen to the native speaker reading the passage, the whole passage for us. Okay, to check the pronunciation of every word, because I really find some words challenging here. We're not familiar with some words like homeopathy, spiritual healing. This word I used to pronounce it like spiritual. The stress is a little bit different, but the speaker says spiritual healing. Spiritual healing. So stress is the first part. So let's listen to it from the native speaker. This is why the authentic material is important here. Authentic material. Yeah, this is the one.
Page 20. Reading.
I guess it has stopped. Just a second.
Page 20. Reading. Read and listen.
Consider the choices. Conventional medicine. The beginnings of conventional medicine can be traced back to the 5th century BCE in ancient Greece. It is based on the scientific study of the human body. In the last century, there has been great progress in what doctors have been able to do with modern surgery and new medications. These scientific advances have made conventional medicine the method many people choose first when they need medical treatment. Homeopathy. Homeopathy was founded in the late 18th century in Germany. It is a low-cost system of natural medicine used by hundreds of millions of people worldwide. In homeopathy, a patient's symptoms are treated with remedies that cause similar symptoms. The remedy is taken in very diluted form, 1 part remedy to 1 trillion parts water. Herbal therapy. Herbal medicine, often taken as teas or pills, has been practiced for thousands of years in almost all cultures around the world. In fact, many conventional medicines were discovered by scientists studying traditional uses of herbs for medical purposes. The World Health Organization claims that 80% of the world's population uses some form of herbal therapy for their regular health care. Acupuncture. Acupuncture originated in China over 5,000 years ago. Today, it is used worldwide for a variety of problems. Acupuncture needles are inserted at certain points on the body to relieve pain and/or restore health. Many believe acupuncture will stop smoking as well. Spiritual healing. Also known as faith healing or mind and body connection, various forms of spiritual healing exist around the world. This is a form of healing that uses the mind or religious faith to treat illness. A number of conventional doctors say that when they have not been able to help a patient, spiritual healing just may work.
Okay, now I want you to practice the new words, just the titles. So how can you pronounce this one? This kind of medicine here. Just say it, anybody.
Conventional medicine?
Yeah.
Conventional medicine.
Okay, conventional medicine. Very good. Okay, what about this one? The second one. Huh? Try to model.
Homeopathy.
Homeopathy.
By the way, Miss Marwa. Miss Marwa.
Yes,
Miss Marwa.
yes, Miss, go ahead. Yes, yeah.
Dear God. Okay. But homeopathy, there is a sentence here that when he's talking about this kind of treatment, he says that the remedies that cause similar symptoms. I think this is in Arabic called al-masl تقريبا. زي تقريبا المصل بتاع اللي هو لما بيجوا يحقنوا الناس بالمصل بتاع سم العقرب او سم الافعى علشان ما يحصلهمش حاجه بعد كده. صح كده ولا ده
Yes.
مش تمام؟
By the way, I'll tell you something. I consulted a physician. I consulted two physicians before I come here to explain this passage. I tried to understand it fully, but I couldn't. برضو, okay. So I asked the physician. I consulted the two physicians if homeopathy is a طب البديل. It has to do with herbs as the herbal kind of medicine, or what?
No.
Is it like the idea of vaccines? Is it like vaccination, where they take the bacteria or the virus, take part of it, and they make it weaker, and they inject it into the body to make like similar symptoms, and so they prevent later being the case of being, or the most likeliness of being affected with this kind of bacteria or virus later on. But actually they said no, it's not vaccines or vaccination part. It's not like this. It's, I don't know, it's like what is mentioned here. They just take one part remedy that is a chemical substance from nature. Yeah.
Yes, yes, but this sentence, when you inject someone with a substance that causes the same symptoms as the same illness, yes, I think this is vaccine. Yeah, I think
vaccine,
it's
wallah.
Yeah.
I tried to surf the internet for more information about is it like the vaccine and the idea of vaccination, but I couldn't make sure actually that it's this. So nobody told me.
Yeah, it has nothing to her herbs. It has nothing to look like some herbs or something. Yes.
It's not herbs, yeah. Okay, maybe as I've told you before, we need to dive deeper into what homeopathy is. Maybe we can watch more videos, and next session, inshallah, we come here and share our findings or takeaways together. Okay, because we really lack information. We lack for some more pieces of information about that part. Okay.
Thank you.
I tell you honestly that even physicians told me no, they are not vaccines, or this is not the idea of vaccination. No, it's something that is diluted حاجة مخففة. Okay, it's a natural substance in a form of chemical like this one. See what is in the bottles here? It's like a chemical, but it's not chemical. It's natural, and it's diluted.
But I think vaccine, it is the same way. You don't. Yeah. Yes, it's natural and it is diluted. This is the same idea of vaccine. This is the same.
I have the same thinking.
It is the title is different.
Okay.
The name is
okay. So I have the same kind of thinking as you, but we can even surf the internet for more information, come here and share our findings together. Okay, so next time, inshallah, I'm going to assure you, and you are going to assure me if it's vaccines or not. Okay?
Oh, yeah. Inshallah. Thank you.
Yeah, inshallah. Okay, now we have another task. Yeah, for the pronunciation, I need somebody to read this word. Yeah, just a second. The third one first. This one.
Acupuncture.
No, this one. The third one. No, this one.
Herbal medicine.
Again herbal? Again herbal?
Herbal.
Herbal?
Herbal medicine.
Herbal.
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 Yes. Herbal. It's coming from herbs. Okay, herbs. Okay. Now there is no it's herbal herbs. Okay. Yeah. What about this word? Sorry.
Is it American pronunciation? Is it American pronunciation or
no? The American and the British. No, there is no herbal. There is no pronunciation called herbal in the first place. In both accents, it's herbal, herbs. Okay. Yeah. Yes. What about this one? You're going to read it. Okay. This one.
Spiritual.
This healing. One. No. Spiritual. This one. The first one.
Acupuncture.
The needles. Acupuncture. Okay. And the last one. The last one.
Spiritual healing.
Spiritual.
Spiritual.
spiritual healing. Spiritual.
Okay, so is it,
Spiritual.
yeah, spiritual healing, spiritual
Spiritual.
healing. He stresses the P kasra, okay, spiritual
The first
healing,
soul.
spiritual healing, okay? Yeah, very good. So we
Spiritual
have
healing.
another task that's really easy. Now we are going to understand from context. We have some words, and five of these words have similar meanings. So we are going to pick the five words of these in the box that are having the similar meaning. Okay, have a look at these words. How many words? 8 words. Five of these words have the same meaning. They are similar. They are like synonyms, a little bit. Not
Can I
100%,
say?
but yani, yeah, 5 words.
Okay. Therapy, treatment, remedy,
Therapy,
heal,
treatment,
Mean
remedy,
remedy.
healing, and what?
healing,
Yeah, you
Remedy.
said
Remedy.
okay. What you said? Therapy. You said treatment. You said healing. You said remedy. What's the fifth word?
care,
Care.
Care. Very good. Yeah, especially if it's medical care. They should have said medical care, okay, to be clearer, okay? Because there are lots of kinds of care, okay? Very good. So the 5 words are remedy, treatment, healing, therapy, and care. Very good. Now for the speaking part of the lesson. You are going to express yourself at large. You're going to organize your ideas before you speak. You have 2 questions here in this activity, activity B. So you are going to relate to personal experience. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Just a second. I'll zoom in before we take the American pronunciation course part. Okay, so relate to personal experience. Now you are going to talk about the following questions. Of course, I'll give you time to prepare yourself first and think about the answer. Okay, before we speak, you like you kind of take notes or organize your ideas. You get ready before you speak. Okay, so number one, which of the treatments in the reading passage have you or your family tried? So, which of these treatments in the reading passage in the comprehension we have been tackling a while ago have you or your family tried? Okay. Number two, which treatments do you think are the most effective and why? Which treatments do you think are the most effective? We studied like 5 kinds of treatments. Which of these are the most effective according to your opinion, of course, or perspective? Okay, and why? So you have 1 minute for this question, number one, and you have 1 minute for the second question. Think before you speak, and then you raise your hand and say whatever you want to say. Okay, take your time. Think about the answer before you speak.
Can we just have the reading passage?
All right. And you will need the questions, by the way. Okay, here is the reading passage.
Have a
Make
look
it
at
smaller, but
some kinds
the
of
kinds of
medication.
treatments. Okay, we have here the conventional medicine اللي هو referring to surgery اللي هو surgical techniques, and the homeopathy طب البديل. Some people believe it's like vaccines, as our colleague said. Herbal therapy طب الأعشاب, and acupuncture, the Chinese needles, and the spiritual healing that connects the mind and body together. Okay, like yoga or meditation or prayer. Prayer is wonderful too. Okay, and back to the questions. We have 2 questions here. Let's zoom in, make it bigger. Yeah. You can choose 1 question to speak about, not necessarily the 2 questions.
conventional medicine is almost it is based on scientific feasibility results. Its results are very fast and more successful.
I see many raised hands. Wonderful. So, the first raised hand is Dr. Mervat, then Mr. Saber, then Mr. Fathi, then Ms. Gheda. We have four colleagues of ours are going to speak freely. Don't worry. Okay. So the first one to speak, Dr. Mervat here. And we are having, I guess, Mr. Saber and Mr. Fathi and Ms. Gheda. Okay. So let's start immediately. Express yourself.
Okay. Hi, this is
Yeah.
Mirvat.
Hi.
I think which treatment? The first question. Okay. Which of the treatment and the reading have you or your family tried? Me and my family tried conventional treatment. It is very effective when you treat some kind of cold or when you treat a rash, you can apply any kind of cream or something. Even if you have a headache, you go straight to tablets to relieve the headache. Okay, so I think all of us have conventional treatment. So I think it is very helpful, and I trust it very much. Okay, from even when they are my children, when they were very young, we started with conventional. We didn't go or we didn't use any different kind except conventional treatment. So this is the kind that we and my family depend on. Okay.
Okay, I do agree with you actually. Yes. Yes. The second one, are you going to yeah.
Which treatment is very effective? As I said, conventional treatment, tablets, syrup, a cream, any kind of conventional treatment is very effective because you can feel its effectiveness in a shorter time. You can see it. You can see it. You can see the evidence. You can see the results in front of you during 2 days or 3 days maximum. Okay, so, and herbal therapies. I think it is not effective in major illness. It may be effective in simple illness. Okay, when you feel something in your stomach, you can drink some kind of herbal. Okay, to relieve the pain in your stomach or something else. Okay, that's
okay,
it. Thank
yes. You. Yeah. Thanks a million for that. Yes, I do agree with actually with your ideas. Yeah, that's the usual thing we have. So the next speaker, go ahead. Mr. Sober, go ahead.
Yes, I think conventional treatment is very useful because it is based on scientific study and researches. And really, my wife made 3 surgical operations and also my children too. So I
my
think
God.
that conventional treatment is the most effective.
Okay. Okay, is that all, or you're going to tackle number 2?
Yes, that's all.
Thanks a million for that. Yeah, may Allah bless you all. Actually, are you okay now? Three operations are really, are much. Okay. Are you okay? Everything is okay. Just assure me everything is okay.
Yes, everything is okay.
Okay. Okay, thank Allah you are safe. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm responding to the content of the message. So my colleague started speaking about certain question here. So I'm not only saying, yeah, I do agree with your ideas in general, but I got a message. I got certain message that he told me about something about personal about himself or about his family. So I have to show empathy and sympathy. I have to interact with the content itself he is delivering. So saying, oh my God, I'm sorry to hear that. Are you okay now? So this is some kind of sympathy. That's why we use the language, okay? We're not just speaking English for just expressing some ideas in general and no emotions. Okay, language is life. Okay, so respond to the answer of the question and respond to the content too, to the message, to the emotional part of the message too. Okay, this is one point to address here. So who is next? I guess Mr. Fathi, go ahead.
Okay. I
We're
also
all
agree
ears.
with Mr. Saber and Miss Mirvat. I think she went first. Miss Mirvat, right? Okay, I agree with them because they said that the traditional way of treatment is the way they think that they also use or follow. And I agree with them. All the people I know, all or the people that live around me, also use the same way because it's the common here in Egypt. And in fact, I don't think that anyone in Egypt has ever or has an access to acupuncture, or maybe they can have an access to spiritual treatment, but acupuncture is very hard because we are not going to find someone who is expert in this field. So I myself tried the traditional way of treatment, and I think it's the most effective because once you get rid of any kind of pain in any organ of the body, you need just a few days to forget all the pain that you used to. So in the part of or relating to the thing that need a long period of time of treatment, so we can get rid of it by a surgery. A surgery gets off or cuts through all, but it also has some kind of side effects too. So I think it's not the best way to use is to go for operation without making a lot of tests first, because you may find another way that you can keep your body untouched. So I think I also used some herbal treatments for some kind of common cold, for example. We may have some hot drinks, and they can help because common cold doesn't have a specific treatment. So herbal treatments also can help, especially with the children, because we don't need to treat our children with any kind of chemics. All chemics or anything of or any kind of treatments that made of any formula or chemical formula has a lot of side effects. So I think the best way for treatment is a traditional way, of course, because it's based on a lot of researches or theories, also herbal in some cases. That's it.
Very good. Yeah. Actually, I feel that your ideas are really close to our ideas. Yes, because they are. Most people here are practicing this kind of medication or treatment. Even doctors become better because they are all the time making surgeries and having operations. Okay, they became perfect because this is the part of medicine they are, or this is the kind of medication or the kind of treatment they are practicing all the time. Okay, not only because this is the only way we're having or the only common way, because this is the most available thing and this is the practice itself, the usual practice. So practice makes perfect, so they became perfect in that. Okay, yeah. All right, so the last speaker here, I guess, who was that? We have one more, the first speaker. It was Miss Ghaida. Yeah, Miss Ghaida, go ahead.
Yes,
We're having
thank you
the
for giving.
pronunciation part.
Yes. I think I will not. I'm not going to add different ideas to my colleagues because I think they have said the same ideas. All of us think that the conventional medication or the surgical medication is the most effective ones because if someone suffers from a disease or an illness in his stomach or in his like in his heart or maybe in their bones, they usually tend to use the surgery. they like advice or ask advice from a doctor, and the doctor says to him in general, you must have a surgery, you must go into a surgery. So I think it's the most effective one. It's the mostly used one in our society, or maybe in different with different people. Actually, I haven't tried this one, or uh, none of my family members have tried this before. Thank Allah.
Thank Allah.
But
Thank
I
Allah.
think it's the most effective one. It's the most like يعني I mean that it
Usual
has
and
the most
common.
effect on people's health. Usually common or commonly used.
Yes. Yes,
But
that's
in
it.
other cases, if the disease is like is an elderly person, or a person who is at a bigger age, so he cannot go into a surgery. It's very dangerous to his life if he has a surgical operation or something like that. So they usually tend to have the herbal medication, or maybe the spiritual medication, because it may help them to relieve pain, or to get rid of some symptoms of the disease that they are suffering from. And I
Yes.
think in our society, some people now are trying to use the spiritual medication, because some of us, not most of us, but some of us are now, because of the stress of life, and the difficult life we are facing, they have a lot of maybe psychological
Pressure.
or bad psychological sides or things like that. We are stressed because of life and so on. So some people like to have these sessions of spiritual medication, so they feel that they are relieving, or
Yes.
that the pain is releasing from their body without using any medicine or treatment, without using a doctor or doing a surgery or so.
Yes, actually, I do
And
agree with that.
as you said, it's part of our surgeon, or I'm sorry, it's part of our religion, because we tend to using our religion in order to get rid of the pain that we are suffering from generally.
Yes. Yes. The prayer itself is a good healing, is a good way of healing all our ailments in general. Okay, that's really great. Thanks a million for your contributions. Actually, you said all the ideas that we are familiar with the usual, having them as a usual practice in our life. Thanks a million for that. Now we are going to tackle the last part of the session, which is the second part of the American pronunciation session or video that was tackling the reduction, if you remember. So it was really challenging, and the part that is that we're having today is really challenging too. So I want you to concentrate fully with this part. It's really challenging, as I'm just trying to tell you now. So as we do as usual, we just listen and just a second, guys. So I'll stop it just a second. Yeah. We have already tackled half of this lesson last session, okay? And it was really challenging, but the next part is going to be challenging too. Actually, it's more challenging. So I want you to concentrate fully. Try to listen well, imitate the accent, reproduce it, and compare your performance with the performance of the native speaker, and we call it the shadowing technique or the echoing technique, and this it's really effective in acquiring the accent. Okay, whatever accent you would like, whether the American or the British, you just listen to the speaker whose accent is the one that is your preference, okay, the one that you prefer, and listen, 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 imitate, understand, and imitate, and then repeat, and then you compare your performance with the performance of the native speaker, and you give yourself like a reflection or kind of self feedback, and then again you develop. This is how you improve your accent. So we stopped here, I guess, just a second. Yes, we stopped here last session. This one, make sure you bring a jacket. So let's continue the next part, and then I want you to imitate it fully. Okay, try to imagine that you are a native speaker. Imagine that you are an American, because it's really challenging. I'll try to imitate it and say it many times before you rise. I'm a student too here.
Word, it's often pronounced normally. Compare these sentences. I want to talk to you.
Okay, just a second. In this part of the video, he's trying to tell you that when the word you comes at the end of the sentence, it's pronounced the same as is. It's you, okay? Full you, complete you. But when it inside the sentence, having words before it and after it, it's yeah, it's reduced. Okay, there is reduction. But when the word you is at the end of the sentence, you say you. I want to talk to you. I want to tell you something. Okay, so listen and repeat.
I want to tell you something.
Again, just a second.
Word, it's often pronounced normal, often happens in questions and when the word you is at the beginning or middle of the sentence. When you is the last word, it's often pronounced normally. Compare these sentences. I want to talk to you. I want to tell you something. She likes you. She'd like you to call her.
Again.
I want to talk to you. I want to tell you something. She likes you. She'd like you to call her.
She'd like you to call her. She'd like you to call her. Okay, I want somebody to practice these sentences. We have 4 sentences here, just one participant. I guess Mr. Syed was the 5th speaker to be, but we just stopped at the 4th speaker. Okay, speaker number 4, the 4th speaker. So now, Mr. Syed, you're going to read these 4 sentences here.
Yes. I wanna talk to you. I wanna tell you something. She likes you. She'd like you to call her.
Okay, now compare your performance with the native speaker one more time, and then we move on to the next part. Yeah.
Beginning or middle of the sentence. When you is the last word, it's often pronounced normally. Compare these sentences. I want to talk to you. I want to tell you something.
I want to tell you something.
She likes you.
She likes you.
She'd like you to call her.
She'd like you to call her. Okay, the next
When
part.
you comes after a word ending in the letter D, it often sounds like ja. For example, would you like a drink?
Would you like a drink?
Could you give me a hand?
Could you give me a hand?
Did you know about this?
Did you know about this? Again.
Ending in the letter D, it often sounds like ja. For example, would you like a drink?
Would you?
Could you give me a hand?
Could you?
Did you know about this?
Did you? Just a second. In the second sentence, can anybody tell me what's this GIMME? Of course, this is not the written form. This is the
Me.
spoken form.
Assimilate.
Sorry?
Give me.
Give
Simulate.
me. Excellent. Excellent.
Give
Excellent.
me.
Excellent. Simulation. Excellent. Yeah. So could you give me? It means could you give me a hand? Okay. يعني help me. Give me a hand. Give me a hand. Help me. Could you give me a hand? 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 Okay. This is how we learn. We repeat and imitate, and this is how we improve. So I need somebody to practice this part. Challenging, of course. Would you like a drink? Would you like a drink? Could you give me a hand? Did you know about this? Yeah, let's go and share.
Yeah.
Just unmute and speak immediately.
Can I
Anybody?
can I try?
Yes.
Would you like a drink? Could you give me a hand? Did you know about this?
Excellent. See how the British accent lover speaks the American accent fluently. This is this is a
By
note
the
that
way, connected
We can learn
speech is
whatever you want to do.
same in American and English in a British accent. So the British accent, the British people do the same. ما طلعش عليها أشعة مروة والنبي.
You said so. I didn't say anything. You're the one who said so. Okay. Excellent, actually. Okay, that was great. Who was going to share again?
May I?
May I?
Of course. Of course. The first one to say, may I? Our colleague.
Would you like
Would you,
could you give me a hand? Did you know about this?
Excellent. Okay, the second person, the second colleague of ours to say, may I?
Okay. Would you like a drink? Could you give me a hand? Did you know about this?
Excellent. Thanks a million for that. Now I'll tell you about this. Have like some kind of self-feedback. Okay, compare your performance with the native speaker. Now, just a second. Yeah.
When you comes after a word ending in the letter D, it often sounds like ja. For example, would you like a drink? Could you give me a hand? Did you know about this?
Okay. The next word.
The words or, for, and your often become fur, and your. Practice with these sentences. Would you like coffee or tea? Should we go to the mall or the park? Do you have a pen or a pencil I could borrow?
Just a second. We're going to listen to that again. And repeat in the pauses, by the way. I'm going to repeat too. Okay.
Your often become fur, and your. Practice with these sentences. Would you like coffee or tea?
Would you like coffee or tea?
Should we go to the mall or the park?
Should we go to the mall or the park?
Do you have a pen or a pencil I could borrow?
Do you have a pen or a pencil I could borrow? Okay, again. All right, listen to it again. Yeah.
Your often become fur, and your. Practice with these sentences. Would you like coffee or tea? Should we go to the mall or the park? Do you have a pen or a pencil I could borrow?
Now, who's going to repeat that? Try to imitate the native speaker. Let me check raised hands. Are these from the last activity? Just lower your hands if you don't want to share. Mr. Sabir, you want to share, right? Yes.
Yes, okay. Uh, would you like a cup of tea? Should we go to the mall or the park? Do you have a pen or a pencil?
I could borrow. Okay, very good. Thanks a million for that. Who is going to share again? Who else is going to share?
May I?
Yes, of course. Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Would you like coffee or tea? Should we go to the mall or the park? Do you have a pen or pencil I could borrow?
Very good. That was really fast. Thanks a million for that. Okay, so now compare your performance with the native speaker.
Your often become fur, and your. Practice with these sentences. Would you like coffee or tea? Should we go to the mall or the park? Do you have a pen or a pencil I could borrow?
Okay, the next part.
This is for you. I'm looking for my keys. We asked for an extra blanket.
Just
Your
a
shoe's
second,
untied.
just a second. Again.
This is for you.
This is for you.
I'm looking for my keys.
I'm looking for my keys.
We asked for an extra blanket.
We asked for an extra blanket. It's really challenging. Okay,
shoes
just a
untied.
second, just a second. Look at this sentence. We asked, because the ed at the end here after the ka sound, it's voiceless, so we pronounce it as ta. Okay, so we asked. So we asked for an extra blanket. So let's have like back chain drilling. Drilling is repetition. So we're going to repeat this sentence, the last one, okay? But from backward to forward. Let's do it together. So say it. Blanket, blanket, blanket. Okay? Extra blanket, an extra blanket, an extra blanket, for an extra blanket, for an extra blanket. Asked for an extra blanket, asked for an extra blanket. We asked for extra blanket. We asked for an extra blanket. Okay, who can say that? The last one. It's really challenging, I know.
Can I?
Just try. Of course.
The last,
The lover of the best
shall I
person.
say it backwards?
Go ahead.
Shall I say it backwards?
Of course.
Okay. Blank, extra blank, an extra blank, for an extra blank, ask for an extra blank, we ask for an extra blank.
Excellent. You know, this way, what do we call it in methodology? These are the kinds of drill, يعني repetition. We have many kinds of repetition. Back chain, chain يعني زي السلسلة كده زي العقد زي السلسلة chain, back chaining, back chain drilling يعني from backwards to forwards, okay? Makes it easier a little bit. Who wants to try it? The third
Yes,
one,
can
because
I?
yes,
May I?
Can I?
Mr. Fathy. Mr. Fathy guessed the first one to say, can I? Go ahead. Mr. Fathy, is it you? No, it isn't. It wasn't you. Okay, any other
Yes.
colleague of
Can I?
ours?
Can I?
Yes, sure.
Can I?
Yes, sure. Was it can I? Okay, anybody? Go ahead.
Yes.
Blanket. Yeah, blanket. Extra blanket. Extra blanket. An extra blanket. For an extra blanket. Asked for an extra blanket. We asked for an extra blanket.
That was a good trial. Thanks, William, for that. Who else is going to share? That part is really important.
May I?
Yes, of
May
course,
I?
sure. Go ahead.
But I'm going
The
to
one before
say
you.
from the okay. We asked for an
The
extra
first beginning.
blanket.
From
No,
excellent.
it's
Dr. Mervat, of course.
regular. Okay, again. We asked for an extra blanket.
Excellent. That's it. Yeah. Excellent. Wonderful. That was so fast. Very good. So who is going to share again?
Yeah. Can I say?
Yeah, of course.
Shall I begin, Miss Marwa?
Of course you can. Of course, yeah. The floor is yours.
Okay. Thank you. Blanket, extra blanket, an extra blanket, for an extra blanket, asked for an extra blanket. We asked for an extra blanket.
Oh my God, we seem to be having like native speakers here. Okay, so let's move on to you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so let's move on to the next part.
We asked for an extra blanket. Your shoe's untied. I know you're upset. Is this your purse? You're a genius.
Easy. This one is easy, right? Yeah, let's say it. Who's going? And I need a new hand, by the way, a new participant of our colleagues. One of our colleagues who didn't share. It's really, yeah, I know it's flexible. You can say it. I need somebody who didn't share today. Who is that person going to be? Another, I think that Miss Iman Hassanin didn't practice a lot with us. So Miss Iman, please go ahead. The 4 sentences. Miss Iman, are you following? Do you hear us? Maybe you have an issue. Okay. Another participant. Our colleagues seem to be tired. Don't worry, this is the last part, and we're going to say good night to everybody, okay? So we're having, who is going to share? The usual names. The usual names. Okay. Miss Sameh, go ahead. The first raised hand.
Your shoes are untied. I know you're upset. Is this your purse? You're a genius.
Okay, that was really great. Just note that this word is untied, okay? Yeah.
In a similar way, the word we're, which is the short form of we are, often sounds like were. We're gonna visit the capital.
We're gonna visit the capital.
I think we're lost.
I think we're lost.
We're not very hungry.
We're not very hungry.
We're thinking about it.
We're thinking about it.
We're not Italian, we're Spanish.
We're not Italian, we're Spanish. Who's going to say the four
In the
sentences?
contractions.
Just a second. Who's going to read the five sentences? They are, I guess, easy. Yeah.
Yes, can I, Miss Marwa?
Mr. Sober. Of course, yeah.
Okay. Uh, we're gonna visit the capital. I think we're lost. We're not very hungry. We're thinking about it. We're not Italian. We're Spanish.
Okay, that was good. Now let's move on to the next part.
We're thinking about it.
Okay.
We're not Italian.
Let's listen to this part again. It's really, enjoyable.
I think we're lost.
No, the first one.
Sounds like were. We're gonna visit the capital.
Wow.
I think we're lost. We're not very hungry. We're thinking about it. We're not Italian, we're Spanish. In the contractions I'm and I'll, we usually pronounce the I more like So I'm becomes and I'll sounds like all. Sorry, I'm busy at the moment.
Sorry, I'm busy at the moment.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the class.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the class.
I'm really annoyed.
I'm really annoyed. Okay, now.
I'll be out of town next week.
Just a second, because the last one would be very challenging. So let's enjoy this one. It's easy. Who's going to read it? Just one person, huh? Immediately. Read it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm busy at the moment. Sorry, I'm busy at the moment. Yeah, I'm enjoying the class. I'm really annoyed.
Very good. Okay, just note that this word annoyed, the yeah is voiced sound. So the ed is pronounced like just da, not id, da, or not ta. Okay, so annoyed. All right. So this is for us, okay, because it's really confusing the pronunciation of the id at the end of the past form verbs. Sometimes da, sometimes it's ta, sometimes it's id. It has a rule. I will bring it to you, inshallah. I have a lesson for it. Let's continue.
Becomes and I'll sounds like all. Sorry, I'm busy at the moment. Yeah, I'm enjoying the class. I'm really annoyed. I'll be out of town next week. I'll have to work late today. I can't talk now, but I'll call you later. I'm pretty sure I'll pass the test.
Okay, just a second. This all that you can see written here, it's not all, it's I will, but reduced to all, like I am, which becomes and they write it like just to clarify it, but we don't write it in the first place like this. Okay, so the first one is I'll be out of town next week. I'll be out of town next week. It's really challenging, full of reduction, assimilation, a flap T, everything. See here, this is I will becomes I'll be out of town. Out of town becomes out of town. Out of town. Out of town. Reduction of اللي هي v in the pronunciation. Okay, and we omit it altogether. This is severe reduction of the v sound, and the flap t here out of the fast d, but it's like r sound. Out of town, out of town, out of town, out of town becomes out of town, out of town. And the word next week, we have two consonants here at the end of one word and at the beginning of the second word. So we omit one of these, and this is elision. We call it next week, next week, next week. So the sentence is going to be, I'll be out of town next week. I'll be out of town next week. Of course, very, very challenging, I know. Maybe you can do it like from backwards to forwards, the back chain drilling. Next week, town next week, town next week, a town next week, a town next, not of town next week, a town next week, out of town next week, out of town next week. I'll be out of town next week. I'll be out of town next week. Okay, it's very, very challenging. See the second one. I'll have to work late today. I'll have to work late today. So this is have to, but reduced to have to, have to. I'll have to work late today. Today, late today, late today, work late today, work late today, have to work late today, have to work late today, I'll have to work late today, I'll have to work late today. Okay, the third one is very, very challenging. I cannot talk now, but I will call you later. I can't talk now, but I'll call you later. But I'll call you later. But I'll call you later. Later, 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 later. Call you later. Call you later. I'll call you later. I'll call you later. But I'll call you later. But I'll call you later. I can't talk now, but I'll call you later. Okay? I'm pretty sure I'll pass. I'll pass the test. I'm pretty sure I'll pass the test. I'm pretty sure I'll pass the test. Pass the test. Pass the test. I'll pass the test. I'll pass the test. Sure, I'll pass the test. Sure, I'll pass the test. Pretty sure I'll pass the test. I'm pretty sure I'll pass the test. You will listen to it again and repeat in the pauses. It's very, very challenging, I know.
Actions I'm and I'll, we usually pronounce the I more like so I'm becomes and I'll sounds like all. Sorry, I'm busy at the moment. Yeah, I'm enjoying the class. I'm really annoyed. I'll be out of town next week. I'll have to work late today. I can't talk now, but I'll call you later. I'm pretty sure I'll pass the test.
Okay, I need a fighter here. Who is going to be the fighter? Fighter.
May I?
Fighter. Fighter.
May
Who's
I?
going to be the
Miss
fighter?
Marwa?
The first, of
Miss
course, yeah.
Marwa? Yes,
Yeah,
okay.
I can hear you. Well, go
Okay.
ahead.
I'll be out of town next week. I'll have to work late today. I can't talk now, but I'll call you later. I'm pretty sure I'll pass the test.
Of course it is. Wonderful. Thanks a million for that. Okay, very good. Who's going to share? It's a challenge. Who's going to accept the challenge and go ahead? Unmute and speak
Can I
immediately.
give a try? Can I give a try?
Go ahead, Ms. Sama. Yeah, of course you can. Huh.
I'll be out of town next week. I'll have
Oh
to
my God.
work late today. I can't talk now, but I'll call you later. I'm pretty sure I'll pass the test.
Wonderful. That was really close. Thanks a million for that. That's the end of our reduction lesson here. Thanks a million for your participation today. You were really good. All of you were really active and interactive. Thanks a million for that. Let's have a look at the lesson we have been tackling here. We studied the kinds of treatments. We studied the conversation model. Okay, and we revised the surgical, sorry, the medical procedures here, these ones, and the conversation model, as I said. Then we have the kinds of treatments, many pieces of information here, and the practice of vocab, the synonyms, and then the speaking part, then the pronunciation, the part of the American pronunciation lesson. Thanks a million for being here with me. Inshallah, I'm going to put you the material on the WhatsApp group, the teacher educator group, and the tasks and the assignments. I know I kept you longer. I'm sorry for that, but it was really it really deserved that because it was very important. If you have anything to add, just put it in the chat box or unmute and speak. I have to say good night to everybody. I know you are
I
tired.
have, please, Miss Marwa. Miss Marwa.
Dr. Merva, go
I have
ahead.
a
Go ahead,
question.
yeah. Of course, yeah.
When we pronunciate the flab, it always come with me as a re, not a.
والله
What is the
excellent.
solution?
والله
Okay.
excellent. هي أصلا ره. هي والله ره والله. والله هي ره والله. ما هي الفلابتي اللي هي الفاست دي بتطلع معانا زي الره بتاعت العربي. زي مثلا beautiful. Beautiful. انت سامعة ده ولا ره؟ Of course it's
Beautiful.
beautiful. This is
It sounds like yeah, but they keep saying flab, flab, and so on. I'm a little bit confused. ده or re?
No,
It
it's
always
ره
sounds
والله.
like re. Okay.
It's ره
So this
بتاعتنا
is
بتاعت
red.
العربي والله.
Yeah,
You know
okay.
why
So
they don't
beautiful.
say that it's like ره? Why the reason behind the native speakers don't say it's like the ره because they don't have the ره بتاعت العربي. Okay, but we have the ره بتاعت العربي واحنا عارفين ان دي ره بتاعت العربي. So they have the fast ده اللي هي flat T. But in Egypt we have the ره and it's computer. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. That's
Okay.
okay.
That was a good point you are making here. Was a good point. Excellent. Okay, so Mr. Sabri, you want to say something before we leave? Go ahead. Or this is an old hand.
No, thanks. I didn't use my hand.
Okay. Thanks a million for all of you. I wish you a good night and have a nice time. Thanks a million. See you next time, inshallah. It's going to be Tuesday, I guess, inshallah. So if you want to say anything, comment on anything, it's okay. If you just want to leave, just leave. Goodbye for now. Let me stop the recording.
Email.
Good night, dear.
Good night.
Good night to all of you.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.